Hello and welcome to our usual streaming day, a Thursday. Welcome so very much to another writing stream. Yeah, I'm very interested in what you are working on today, but a little update. I finished my third draft. Yee! And now I am at very much a crossroad in which I don't know what to do. After this, I'm kind of like, uh, I'm at a draft or at a point where I am very happy with how the book is turning out, but I'm also kind of like the biggest questions right now is just like, do I send it to a publishers? And how do I do that? I have no idea. What do I need to put with like a proposal or whatever? Do I send it to beta readers? Or do I print it out? Yeah, I'm not sure. So today I'm gonna try to come up with a plan. Uh, yeah, come up with a plan of what to do next. Because I've kind of been fumbling about just like first of all, I need to properly format the draft if I'm gonna send it to anyone. Um, so okay, so I have a notepad with me, so I'm just gonna write that down because when I said it now, it made sense. But okay, format to a Word document because now I just have it on Scrivener. And then the big question will be, who do I send it to? Do I send it to beta readers? And then the question is, who? uh, who do I send it to if it is beta readers I land on? And what do I ask them? And if it's like send it to the publishers, I'm like, okay, but how do I do that? So there's like two different paths here, I think. But yeah, let's see. Windy, hello, welcome. And thank you so much. Okay, yes. Time to send it to someone that tells me what to do. Uh, yeah, that makes sense. But then it would be like, but who? Because I know, like, this is weird, but because of YouTube and AuthorTube and being on streams and such, I know more about the American published journey than how you do it in Norway. I have no idea how you do it in Norway. So I'm kind of like, is it a requirement to send to beta readers, or could I just send it to publishers and they tell me what to do? I have no idea. So yeah. Um Windy, you always get stuck like this after 2 to 3 drafts, and that's when you know it's time to send it to your critique partner. You can't see anything more, but she can see all the things. Yeah. When I'm saying it out loud now, I'm kind of like, okay, the only people that have read my book are my brother, and my husband has read some sections. So no one other than me has read the whole thing. So it might be too big of a hubris to just send it to publishers without anyone actually reading it. Is what I'm realizing now while saying it out loud. So uh, yeah. You're right. When the family doesn't count, they won't tell you what you need to hear. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna use the first sprint to just jot down what I need to do, but beta readers, it's probably one of the biggest things. Um, okay, thank you for all the advice, Wendy. I really need it. You wouldn't send it to a publisher yet. They're going to want a perfect, clean draft where everything is all worked out. Another writer will see any issues to fix before it goes to a publisher. That is true. Because I'm also in like in the mindset of I don't know how the publishing industry works in Norway at all. I need to find like a podcast or something. Maybe that's one of okay. Another point, research the publishing industry in Norway. Or the process. Because the American publishing stuff is like you need to have a cover letter, an agent, an editor, and stuff like that. And basically, it says on the websites here in Norway, on the biggest publishing houses, like send us your script, preferably Times New Roman and 12 size script, and that's it. No, like send us a synopsis and blah 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 blah. So I'm kind of like, what's the expectations? That's what I want. I want like, what's the requirements to like get you to read it? So yeah. Okay. And beta readers typically feel like something is missing but don't know what it is. Okay. So you're like, yeah, I don't have a lot of sorry. I don't have like a big writing community here in Norway at all. So I don't know where I would find writer beta readers, but I have a few of my like a few of my friends and acquaintances wants to read it, and I know quite a lot of them. If I ask them, they will be brutally honest. So I don't think they will be too nice if I ask them to. But we will see. Melissa, welcome. Good morning. How are you today? Is it writing or is it work related you're working on today? Let us know. Windy, until you found your critique partner, it was hard to find someone who could be brutal with you. And that's what you need, yeah. Or you end up with a bunch of rejections and don't know why. Yeah, that's my like biggest worry, I think. Just sending in my manuscript and kind of like spilled my chance because they're kind of like, oh, this is this manuscript we got some months ago. It probably is still bad or what. That's what I worry about. So and yeah, just getting the sorry, we're not interested in this time. Because that's like the worst. Then you don't even get constructive criticism. So yeah, maybe I should polish, but I was kind of like, oh, I'm so done with it. So I don't know. I wrote this in Norwegian. Yeah. If I wrote it in English, I would have asked all of you guys. Just saying. But I don't think any of you know Norwegian. Maybe. So yeah. Okay, yes. You only have one shot. Because I'm kind of like, I have it in my head that it's easier in Norway to get published because it's a much smaller market, but that's not even logical because it's a much smaller market, so they don't make as many books. But yeah, so I don't know. The thought process is blah. Usually, but it might be different in Norway. That's why I think maybe it's not, because it's still like a very fine needle point hole to get through, uh, since it is a smaller market and they might not take a chance on something different, or yeah. So we'll see. Melissa, work related for you today? Awesome. You're about to take some time off, so you're preparing for that. Oh, that's gonna be awesome. Oh, I'm gonna have some time off in November too. We're going to Japan. I feel like I say that every sprint or every stream, but I'm just so excited. I can't wait. But oh well. Okay, so we have a plan that I'm gonna make a plan this first stream, or this first sprint. So I'm thinking let's do maybe a 15 to start with. Let me see. I'm like, how do I share screen? Seriously? The button changed. Present screen. Yeah. they 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 changed the button. There we go. Okay. No, it started. Gonna use the Darling Writers farting timers because they're so cute. uh, Windy, can I translate the first chapter into English? If you could, some of us could at least get a feel for how the writing is. You showed us a sample some time ago and you remember it was really good. Oh, thank you, Windy. I could. I absolutely could. Maybe. Okay. Okay. A plan is formulating in my head. I'm gonna think about it this sprint, and I'll get back to you. Hee hee. And yes, yay for getting a break. Absolutely. Yeah, I think you saw it on Instagram, and I have shared a little bit on stream where I just like roughly translated it in a minute. But okay, I'll mull it over. So let's do the first sprint, and as always, try to count to 5 in Norwegian because it's so hard. Right? Okay, let's do it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go! I don't know if you heard that, but we have a sprint finished. Okay, that was the first 15-minute warm up. How did you do? I've just been prattling on what I was working on today, but I know that. Oh God, sorry, Melissa, you were working hard at work, preparing for your break. But what about everybody else? How are you doing today? uh, I figured out a plan, and by that I jumped straight to point 3 of my plan. But there's like, okay, so there's 4 things that I think I'm gonna focus on going forward. First one is learn how to format, because I'm using Scrivener and it isn't very intuitive how to format it in a nice way to a Word document. I've done it before, but forgot the whole thing. So learn how to format, research the publishing process here in Norway. Third, beta readers, or as I learned that they're called in Norwegian, pilot readers. Pilotleser. And the third point does have a lot of extra on it, like who, what should they give feedback on, and is there a deadline? Those I need to find out. And fourth, yeah, I want to translate a chapter to English so that you can read if you want to. Because I like writing in English. Because English has a heck ton a lot more words for descriptions. Oh my God, I've been struggling so much writing this book because I think of a perfectly descriptive word in English, but it doesn't exist in Norwegian. And not at all in New Norwegian, which is the one of the 2 written languages in Norway. So yeah, and so I'm gonna do that. But yeah, for focus for today, I think is I'm gonna make a document with who is suitable to be a beta reader for this book, and what should they focus on if I get anybody to be a beta reader. Like questions and questionnaire and stuff like that. I think I'm just gonna put it out on Facebook and be like, anybody like this, and this, and wants to read something I wrote? Maybe. So yeah, okay. Paget jumped in. Hello, welcome. And Windy, having said all that, which was very good advice, thank you very, very much. It made my head clearer because I was kind of like, oh, I'm done. I'm going to send it to publishers. I don't care. But yeah, I do only have one chance to really impress them on the first try. So yeah. Hey, saying hello to everybody. Very good. Heather, hello, welcome. How are you today? Windy, you gathered all your notes for changes you need to make to book 2, and you're prepping to start draft 3. Awesome. Very, very good. Saying hello. Yes, pilot readers. I thought that was cool too. But it's, I don't know the origins of the word or why it's called pilot readers. I mean, is it because they're in front of the plane so they come first to uncharted territory? Maybe. I'm just spitballing here. Oh, thank you, Windy. Hey. So that will be a good, like, take my mind off things while beta readers try it, I think. Mhm. What is your experiences, or have you come that far in the journey, as they say? Have you guys ever tried to get beta readers, and what did you do? How did it go? I'm just so like, I've been a little paralyzed this week because I've been like a little overwhelmed, frankly, with all of the options. And when you feel like you don't know stuff and you're afraid to take the wrong step, or at least, yeah, something like that. You always hesitate and stuff like that. So I think it's good to make a plan and do some research and actually get people to read it. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, people haven't read it. The hubris. Oh my god. I was just like, I'll just send it. Oh well. Ay. Oh well. Let's see. I'm just gonna pull up the next timer so we're ready for that. I think we're gonna let's see. Let's do a 45. No, 45, yeah. Right. With a farting pug. So cute. So cute. Windy, with your first book, you had the hardest time finding beta readers. And when you did, they gave either not enough feedback or way too much. Yeah. You now have 2 betas and your critique partner, who is also your editor. So you had to go through a little bit of a process to get there. Yeah, because I feel like, or like, a lot of my acquaintances has been like, oh, I want to read your book, please let me read it. But they want to read it as a finished product, and like, being a beta reader is more than reading it for enjoyment. So I'm kind of like, it is work to be a beta reader. Like, you are expected to, like, not just read it as a reader, but read it with a critical eye. so I'm kind of like, okay, which of my friends actually like understand that task, and will I be able to put it on them, knowing that they have full-time jobs or whatever? But yeah, we will see if anybody volunteers at all. So yeah, that's a possibility too. We will see. Heather saying hello to Windy and Paget. Very good. Windy, first book got so many rejections because you didn't have any feedback. Yeah. And didn't know what to do. It was a mess until you found the right people. Yeah. And I think that's a big component of it too. I mean, my grandma has been hounding me about reading my book, but I don't think that she would be a good beta reader because she usually exclusively read like period dramas or crime novels, and this is a fantasy YA. So I don't think that I mean, I'm super flattered that she wants to read it anyway, but that's because I'm her granddaughter. And I don't think that she would give or be like the intended group that should read this book. So, so yeah, I think that I need to also take into consideration who actually likes to read fantasy. Like, is in the genre group, who is prepared for it to actually give feedback, and like, who has time for that commitment, who can like do it in a reasonable time, because that's also something I'm putting it on people. So yeah. Windy, you have everything ready to go before you hand it to your betas for all the reason you just said. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It needs to be ready. Um, yes, it's good if you can find people who read in the same genre because they know the rules of the genre, and that makes it even harder. Yeah, and like, uh, yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I have heard throughout, like, uh, when we discuss in any social setting, when I discuss books with people, uh, and like which genre they like the best versus what's my favorite genre, and stuff like that. A lot of the time, people will be like, "Ah, I don't get fantasy. It's so unrealistic. I don't understand this and this system and stuff like that." And if I get people like that to be beta readers, they won't give the necessary feedback on what I need feedback on, which is the magic system, for example. Um, so yeah, that's a requirement, I think. Yes. Ah, you make me think about all the things, Windy. I love it. Very good. Okay, so I think we're gonna start with the second sprint now, because we're 40 minutes into our stream and only done 15-minute sprint. So we're gonna jump straight into a 25. Let's do this in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go! Okay. Sorry, jumped onto the next 60-minute one. I'm not there yet, but I can do 60-minute, I think. But that was the second sprint. How did you guys do? I jumped all over the place. So I think what I'm going to hone in on is try to get some beta readers, because I think it will be good for my own peace of mind to actually have some people to read it and be like, is it not even worth trying? I think it is worth trying, but it would be nice to have another set of eyes. Hello, doggo. Come down. Come. Oh, emotional support dog. Oh no. Okay. So let's pet doggo. Oh, she just wants to leave. Look, but you're so cute. Look. She's like, put me down, mom. You're great. Oh. Okay. So back on with my blanket. So what I found out through me jumping and trying to be like, how should I attack this? So I found some questions that I would like to ask my beta readers to comment on. But I also figured out what kind of reader I want. So I have 4 points. They have to like fantasy, dystopian, YA. They want to read in New Norwegian. Newsflash, we have 2 written languages in Norway. 80% reads and writes in bokmål. The rest, 20% read in New Norwegian. Guess what I'm writing in? Yes, I made it hard for myself. So I have to find someone that is actually willing to read in New Norwegian. They need to have time and to actually read it and give me feedback within a month or 2 months. And they have to be honest and constructive, with constructive criticism. So that's my 4 main points. But then I was like, okay, if I'm gonna, I think I just want to put on a sales pitch on Facebook or whatever. But then I was kind of like, what's my pitch? I don't even have a pitch in Norwegian, because I wrote down, I have when I was reading Save the Cat, it has its own chapter on pitching. It says pitch it to me. And I wrote kind of a log line, whatever it's called. But I wrote that in English. I have not written in Norwegian. So what I wrote then was, a troubled assassin gets her worldview challenged when she infiltrates a group of savage half-humans. That's my pitch in English. It doesn't work as well in Norwegian. Who would have thought? So now I'm kind of on, okay, I need a decent pitch in Norwegian. Who would have thought? So that's what I'm gonna do the next sprint. I think I'm gonna read through this again, because it explains the plot thing very good, pitch thing very nicely. So I think I'm gonna do that. So yeah, that's how far I came. So let's see how you did. Can you hear it? It's the ice cream truck. But now I've been running to the ice cream truck too much, so my whole freezer is full of the chocolate covered chocolate ice cream with brownie bits. It's the best. So I don't need any more. I don't need any more. Okay. Let's see. Windy, you said when I scrolled up a little bit more, based on what I said, you don't think that I need to worry about it so much in Norway. If I can find one other writer to read it, help fix issues, you're probably set to send it in. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I don't really know though. I have no idea how the publishing process is in Norwegian and if there is even a market for my book. I haven't written to the market, I think. Or like, it's a little about climate change. It's a lot about magic and like play on if you exploit nature versus when you play along with nature. So that's kind of a little bit of a market now, I guess. So I don't know. We will see. You think that I can skip a lot of the stuff English writers have to do? Maybe, I think, but I still think I'm gonna get some other people to read it, because when I said it out loud, I was kind of like, I need more eyes on this. If only it's like to confirm that it's ready to send in. And if they find something that I need to change, even better. Yeah, okay. So any publishing house will have their own in-house editors. So they will fix any issues there might be more willingly than an English house. Maybe, I don't know. You actually think that I am closer than I think. Again, I don't know. Because on the one hand, I think that I have a leg in because there's not a lot of books being written in New Norwegian. So much so that the Norwegian government gives extra special grants to publishers that publish in New Norwegian because they want to keep the language alive. So I think I have a step in there. And there is not a lot of New Norwegian fantasy books being written. So I think that's like another toe in the door. So I'm writing for like a niche market a little bit, but a niche market that is also depleted. So that's maybe good. I don't know. Don't doubt yourself, Wendy. You give so good advice. Forget everything you said. No, you're applying US rules to my situation that likely don't apply in Norway. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I think that I don't know if there's such a thing as over-prepared. Maybe. Things sound much less complicated here, and you can probably skip steps 2 to 1567. Maybe, but I think maybe like step 1560 to 1567 maybe is a good way to go. Oh, no, Windy, you spent most of that sprint thinking about my book woes. Oh, don't do that. I don't want to be responsible for you not finishing your books. Yes, the doggo is very cute. Even though she's not a lap dog, or she's a lap dog when she wants to be a lap dog. That is not so often. But that is also corgi sometimes breed. Okay, so those are good requirements. Yes, I think so too. Do many new Norwegian readers also read English? Absolutely. If so, you can leave your pitch in English. Yes. Very much so. Youth in Norway today is reading English. I was on the in the bookstore the other day where I found amazing books about Japanese myths, by the way. But I saw like their whole YA section was only in English. And I was kind of like, because I don't mind reading in English, but I also find that I understand the story a heck of a lot more when I read it in Norwegian. So I was kind of like, do you have these also translated? And she was like, no, because of book talk, uh, the youth, I don't know what to call them, the teens wants only books in English. And I was kind of like, fuck. But I'm writing a new Norwegian. Who will read my book? So I'm kind of like, oh shit. So yeah, they read a lot in English actually. So now I'm kind of like, just translate the whole thing to English, maybe. But I want to have a pitch in Norwegian too, to kind of stay true to like that it is actually in Norwegian, and not people think like, oh, it's in English, if you know what I mean. Do the Norwegian publishing houses ask for sample chapters or the whole manuscript? From what I've seen, they want sample chapters if you're writing nonfiction, and whole manuscript if you're writing fiction. I think that's, yeah, skjønnlitteratur, books, novels, not like books about what types of trees there are and stuff like that. So yeah. So yeah, they want the whole manuscript as finished as possible. So yeah. So that also gives me like a little bit of a hint that it should be polished to, not to perfection, but to a good degree. That's ironic because my title is rough. Like, yeah, if your skin is rough in Norwegian, it's called ru, and my book is called ru because yeah. Anyway, bad pun. Oh wow, I really do have a leg up then. Very little competition and lots of incentive for a publisher to take you on. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know if it is reality, but I hope so. I hope so. Yes, she's a corgi, a Welsh corgi cardigan. So the corgi with the tail. And she's the best. She's been struggling a little bit because she's getting kind of old. She's 9 years old and she has arthritis in her knees. So she's been, when it's getting colder, she's starting to limp a little bit. But we have medication and stuff, so she's good. Heather, ooh, you've been productive. You're back. You cleaned your kitchen, did some dishes, ate some lunch, and talked to your hubby. Very good. It is a productivity sprint after all. Stream after all. Cookie, hello, hello, cat face. Welcome. How are you today? What's the time difference again? Is it like some crazy 1 a.m. something in your place? It has been the other times. Whoa, whole manuscripts for fiction. Yes. See, that's why you think this will be much easier for you than for an English written book. Okay, why? Why? Because is it more of like sample chapters in English written one? Because I would think like that's more hard, where they want the whole manuscript. Because then you have to actually write a whole. I'm sorry, I'm just ink everywhere. More hard to like actually finish a whole manuscript than sending in some sample chapters. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I was kind of like, I was very naive before I started writing this book, because I was kind of like, just like, oh, you'll just get a grant or something, without having to really written anything. You can just apply for a grant and then you can be a full-time author. And then I was like, oh, okay, you have to actually write a whole book before you get anything. So yeah, that was a rude awakening. Uh, it's 1 a.m. That's what I said. Oh my god, I don't know how you function. I'm like conked out at 11 o'clock at night. Yeah. Uh, they don't want to waste their time or inbox space with an entire manuscript. Okay. Yeah. So English publishers just wants sample chapters. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. It's cool to learn the differences, I think. Okay. Let's start another sprint, I think. I'm gonna um make a cup of tea because I'm getting parched. But we'll do another 25, I think. And 5 minutes of those will be me getting tea. Yes. Okay. Then maybe we will have time for maybe a little 10-minute one at the end, but we will see. Okay, let's do a 25-minute one in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go! That was our third sprint done for the day. Very good. How did you guys do? I saw some people popped in. Hi, Zaina or Zina, one of those. Let me know which is the correct one. I read some more about pitch or log line. I need to read a little bit more of those. But I wrote some in Norwegian and I'm gonna translate it on the spot. But one of them, that was the one that I am most okay about, is an assassin that is haunted by hallucinations, both in dream and in reality, gets a mission of infiltrating a terrorist group that has sold their soul to animals. When her mission takes an unexpected turn that challenges her worldview, she has to use all her powers to save the all of the human races or human species on the ice planet Irelis. Yeah, so that's my ish pitch. I think I need to fiddle around a little bit more in the wording, because it's not like super punchy right where I want it. So, but we will see. So yeah, how did you guys do? I think I'm gonna. My plan going forward now is like I need to polish my pitch a little bit more, and I want to craft an exciting um, sales pitch for beta readers that I can put on Facebook. But yeah, I think that's gonna have to be done tomorrow, because I remembered now that I was supposed to do something for my boss that should be ready for tomorrow. So I think I'm gonna have to do that for the rest of the evening. But yeah, I got a little bit done, so that's awesome. Let's see. Let's rewind in the chat. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool, Windy, that by the publishing houses wanting a whole manuscript, it tells you that they're willing to look beyond the first few pages right off the bat. I don't know if it is like that, though, because they might just like flip through the first few, maybe a little bit in the middle, and then at the end. And if those are not good, they won't read the whole thing. But at least it's right there if they want to. So that's pretty good. Okay. English agents usually ask for anywhere from 3 to 10 pages, sometimes up to 3 chapters, but rarely beyond that. Okay. And you're going directly to the publisher, so that's an even bigger deal. Yeah. Literary agents is not a thing here in Norway, I think. Like at all. I've tried researching it because I was kind of like, do I need an agent? And I literally couldn't find anything, because there are like there are some but they look very. There are some website that is like, we can help you publish a book, but they're very like, pay $9.99 each month and we will help you. And on the websites that I've seen, the publishing houses do not expect you to have an agent, and you can just send it directly to them. So we didn't even have the agent step. So yeah, it's good. Heather, wait, you didn't clean your whole kitchen. Oh well. A little is a lot better than nothing. Uh, mm, I wish I would be the person that is like, oh no, I can't go to bed with a dirty kitchen. I'm just like, oh, okay, I can't cook here anymore because there are too many dirty dishes. Maybe I'll have to do the kitchen. That's my process. Windy, aw, you called dibs on the first printed book. You don't care that you can't read it. Maybe you can do, have you like the Google Translator app where you can just like hold it over text? Maybe you can do that. You're getting really excited for me. Oh, thank you. Oh my God, you're so nice. Oh, and you too, Cookie. Oh, you wish you could read my book. You're so curious. Oh, you're so nice. Oh my God. I'm gonna cry. And then Sina jumped in to the chat. Hello, hello, welcome. Asking how are you? Wendy says saying she's good. And you are quite well. You almost finished your work for today. Awesome. That's awesome. Cookie, you did some drawing. Was it of a cat? You seem to like cats. What did you draw? It's a good pitch. Oh, thank you, Wendy. I think I need to fill around a little bit. It sounds a little more cumbersome in Norwegian, but I think I'm getting there. Query tracker. No, I don't know what that is. Query tracker. Finally, literary agents. But okay. And publishers. Cool, but is that in Norway too? Find agents and publishers in English-speaking countries. Yeah, but English is not an official language, so maybe that's not applicable. I don't know. Hi, Jen. Welcome. Little late to the stream, but you wanted to say hello. You're very, very welcome here. Any time of the stream you jump in. But hello, how are you? People saying hello, yay. You would try that. And now I'm don't know what we were talking about. Yeah. I'm sorry. I say a lot of things and then I forget them like 10 minutes later. Heather, you did some more cleaning, dusting. Ugh, dusting. I haven't done that in a while. And cut down some watercolor paper for making some artwork later this week. Cool. You're the same way. Awesome. I don't remember what I said. I'm sorry, Heather. But yay, we're a little bit the same. Yay. You have to be a paid member on Query Tracker to see a list of agents outside the US, but if there are some, they'd be there. Okay. Darn, autocorrect. That's fine. Cookie, you actually drew books on a bookshelf. Awesome. It was empty before. I like it. I like it a lot. I love like just doodle drawings where you don't have to be like super specific with the details because I'm not good at details. But doodling books on bookshelves, that's pretty good. Oh, yes, very good. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, so you would try holding getting the app to translate my book into English. Oh, That's actually like super flattering. It's so nice. I'm just gonna find a post-it for it here. But that app is genius. Seriously. I've used it to try to translate Japanese. It looks like this. Just the Google Translator, where you can like take the camera and just like take, if you have the camera like this and you just like hover it over. Now I don't have any Japanese stuff. Oh, yeah, wait, I do. I actually have this Genki something something. I should be able to just like hold it like this, and it should translate. So yeah, that was a Japanese word, so that wasn't that good. But let's try like something like this. Oh, this is too hard. But yeah, it translates the sentences, I think, into Norwegian. So that's pretty good. So I'm hoping I get a lot of use out of this app when we travel to Japan. So I highly recommend that. It's pretty good. You don't get like the best translations, I think, but something close that you can understand at least. And yay, Wendy, you got one chapter edited. Very good. We're getting there. People saying hello to Jen. Very good. And yeah, it's pretty good, right? And it does it like almost simultaneously. You don't even have to like take the picture and then it like uses a minute to translate it or something. It's just like instantly. So it's pretty good. Okay. So that is suddenly 2 hours just flew by. So I think I'm gonna stop here for today. I've been there's been a lot of just sitting today, so I need to go for a walk and move my body because my back is just like I don't know how to explain that, but if you know, you know. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I would love for you to join next Thursday, and we can check up on each other how much progress we've done in a week. I'm hoping maybe that I'm gonna snag some beta readers till next time. We will see. We will see. But that's a goal, I think. A goal for next week. Maybe find some beta readers. But yeah. Thank you for putting up with me talking too much. And thank you for all of the advice, Wendy. It really, really helped. Absolutely. So thank you. Makes total sense. Very good. Jen, you will be here at the beginning next week. You're more than welcome to drop in. I would love to have you here. Oh, Jen, you wish you could beta read. It sounds so interesting. Well, not well. You can't read the whole beta book, beta book, the whole thing. But I think I'm gonna do a chapter in English, translate a chapter into English, and put it somewhere on the internet where you can have a gander. But until next week, have a lovely evening, day, morning, whatever, or the middle of the night cookie. And I will see you next Thursday. Bye.